I'm Crystal Wax. You are listening to MSP Sound on KFAI, and I have Carolyne Naomi with me right now. Hey!
Hey, hi everybody.
Hey, I'm so glad that you're on the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is amazing. I love it. It's so good to see you and meet you in person. Not in person, but kind of in person. So this is good.
Right, this is as close to in person as we'll
This is
get
close.
at the moment.
Exactly. At the moment.
Absolutely. It's so nice to meet you as well.
Nice to
And
meet
I'm
you. Yeah.
just so excited to have you on the show. We have a couple like
Yeah.
fun things happening in the Carolyne
True.
Naomi world. There's a brand new single. Let's talk about JAPA.
Yeah. That's the new single. We shot the video. When did we shoot that video? I think it was in February of this year. And then we released it the very last week in May. And it's a song that I recorded with the guy who is featured on the song is a music producer. His name is Tolu, and he's also a vocalist. So he lives in Dallas, Texas, and we've been friends for years, way back in Nigeria. I used to be in a music reality TV show, and he was also in a music reality TV show. It's called MTM Project Fame West Africa, and I was in a maiden edition. It's like a music competition and reality TV show at the same time, and we lived in a house, almost like Big Brother, where you live in a house for as long as you're there before you get evicted. That's exactly how it was, and that's how he became my friend. We recorded a song together in Nigeria, and then when I moved here to the US and he moved, he told me he was in Dallas, and then we just reconnected. I traveled to Dallas to record with him, and I told him I needed him to help me create more beats that I can write some songs to. And he created this beat. This was the first one that he created, and he created the hook of the song. And the meaning in the song, JAPA, means to like run away and leave a situation that is negative, anything that you don't like, and you want to remove yourself from a negative situation or a negative experience. That's what JAPA kind of means. And he wrote that, and I was like, at that moment I was going through a situationship with a guy that I was dating, that I thought we had something going, and we were seeing each other for close to 5-6 months, and all of a sudden I realized that he was double dating. He was dating someone else. He was ghosting me sometimes, started with oh, I'm too busy to meet. I'm sorry, I had to travel out of town. And then that's when I realized that I was being played. And so when I met with Tolu, I was like, I'm going through this thing. And I didn't tell Tolu prior to him recording the song, recording the hook. I just told him, let's record something. And when he wrote the hook, it had exactly that message of what I was going through. I was like, how did you know that this was my experience? So it just felt like it was meant to be. The song was just meant to happen. And so when I went to Dallas, when he wrote that hook, then I had to quickly, try to write my verses. And then I said, you know what, maybe we should make this a duet. You be the bad guy. And then you act the part of the guy who messed up, with me in that whole situationship thing. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And we just did. He wrote his verse, I wrote my verse, we recorded. And then when it was time to do the video, I was like, okay, now you have to come to Minneapolis, because he'd never been to Minneapolis before. And so it was his first experience. He had fun. I took him to the Mall of America. He went sightseeing. And it was just a great, great experience. So we had fun shooting that video. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel like there is so much to unpack in what you just said about the song. This reality show, I apparently did not do my homework well enough. What?
I know. It's so funny. I always never really say it unless I'm in an interview and people tell me or ask me about my music journey. And then I tell them, oh yeah, I used to be in the show. And from then I started taking music more seriously, because when I was in the show, people got to know me. I was kind of popular in a way for a bit, and all that. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I will recover. I am somewhat professional here, but that is so cool. That is so cool. So fun. Well, congrats on how did you end up on, like, what was going? I'm sorry, I know we had other things we want to talk about, but now I'm kind of in this right now. How did you end up on the reality show? I mean, you had been doing music, and then you applied and
yeah. So at the time that I found out about it, I was just about to graduate from undergrad in college in Nigeria, and I think I was we'd done up finals and everything, and I was done kind of. And then my friend told me that she saw this advert or commercial on TV saying, hey, there's this new reality TV show that used to air. It had the same version of the reality TV show in the UK. So they had Project Fame UK, and then they also had Project Fame South Africa. And I remember that I'd seen Project Fame UK before because there was an artist, his name is Lamar. He's a UK Nigerian artist who was on there, and he was like second runner-up. And I loved him from that show. And so when they said that they were bringing the same show from the UK to Nigeria, to West Africa, with Nigeria being the center that would host the show and host other West African countries like Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone. I think it was 4 countries represented. So she told me about it. I was like, wow, that's a huge one. But then I'd always been a very shy person. Even though I was already performing, while I was in college, I would perform here and there. At school, they would have shows. British Council at that time, because my country has a very strong connection with the UK because we were, colonized by the British and everything. And so British Council would have events at their, kind of like a location somewhere, and then they would have musicians come over, and at some point I got invited to come play, so I was doing all of that, small shows here and there. And then when my friend told me about this music competition, I was like, okay, as much as I like performing, I don't know if I want to be on TV. This is a different ballgame entirely. So I was nervous, I was scared. I was like, I don't know, my privacy, my whole life right in front of everyone, so that's how I felt being in a house. I just couldn't imagine it. I'd seen Big Brother and I was like, I don't want to be in something like that. So she just encouraged me and said, just go for one audition. If you don't like it, fine. It's like, okay. And so when I signed up, I think the deadline was close by, like 2 days left before the final deadline. That's when I signed up. And so when I went in first audition, I didn't have my guitar, but I knew I wanted to play guitar. So before I went there in the morning, and then I got to audition at 6 p.m. So that's how many people there were. I got there at 9 a.m. and I had to wait all the way till 6 p.m. Terrible. And if you know Lagos, Nigeria, it's always hot, extremely hot. And we were outdoors and everything. And so eventually when it was time for me to audition, I was tired, I was uninterested, but I had a random guy who had his own guitar that he was playing and getting ready to go audition. I was like, hey, can I borrow your guitar? Picked up his guitar. It's like, sure. He gave it to me. I went in there, sang a song about One Step at a Time by Jordan Sparks. And that was it. The judge was like, yep, I like you. You're going to the next round. And then from the next round to the next round to the next round until I was among the top 15 who made it into the house. So all this time we had all these preliminary auditions before we got into the house. And then I was among 15 of 4 countries, of thousands or close to millions of people who had auditions. So that was really special. And so that kind of like started off my career in such a way where now I had some kind of TV exposure. People had, a few people had known me sort of in my country and in other parts of Africa. And so I decided to take it from there. But I didn't go into music immediately because I wanted to go for my master's program. So I went right back to school, had this whole time of studying and going right back to corporate world, working in as an admin officer at an oil and gas servicing company. And so it was a 9-to-5 job for me. The only time that I had music going was when I was teaching guitar. I was teaching guitar lessons to kids for summer camp, kids at a school for the blind and partially sighted. I did teach a few kids who some had never seen in their lives before. Others, lost their sight. I taught them guitar. It was just a great experience all the while working full-time and doing that part-time. So when I moved here to the US, that's when I decided to finally give music more attention, because I felt like I'd given everything else, my education, my full-time job and all the attention. And I never really pursued music until like 3 years ago, really. Yeah. So that's the story, all the backstory to how I got here.
Oh my gosh. I will say that is one of the best stories I've heard. So.
That is so cool.
Wow, that is incredible, Caroline. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks. Now you indulge me with that with how we got here. But the single, super fun. I'm glad you dragged him up here to go film the video.
Yes, and he loved it. He loved the experience so much. Yeah.
I'm sorry, when did you say you recorded or filmed the video? That was in
February this year, but
Right,
we recorded the song. The first take of the recording was 2019. And then after recording in 2019, Tolu, the producer, was not really satisfied with it and said, you have to come back to Dallas again. So by the time I went back to Dallas, when I was able to, take a break from work, it was 2020, very early, right before COVID started. So after I recorded in March and I got back to Minneapolis, then they shut down everything and said, oh, there's COVID, this thing is crazy, no more traveling and all that. I was like, oh, well, thankfully I recorded before the whole thing happened. So 2 recordings that we had, October of 2019, and then we scrapped that and started over March 2020, and then finally recorded the video this year because COVID took a long time, couldn't meet in person until this year. Yeah.
wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that story. I mean, a lot of people were recording things, I think, pre-pandemic, and then it just held off before
Yes.
releasing it. So that must have been kind of hard too.
It was.
It's a really tough time for musicians. I'm so sorry.
Definitely. Yeah.
But hopefully it feels like we're getting out of this, right? Like,
oh yes, it does. Because now we're having shows again. I have one show coming up on Saturday. It's a private gig. It's a backyard party event hosted by like an association of lawyers and attorneys in Minneapolis. Yeah, so it's going to be really cool. So I have that coming up. I have a Care 11 appearance. I'll be on TV, which is cool. I'm excited for that. And then I have the show at Edina, July 16th. And then I think I have another block party in August. So shows are starting to come back. I'm really happy about that. Like, I'm so eager to play again live.
I'm sure. I can't imagine how tough it is, or it has been for people in your field, in your field. So professional in the music profession. Like that has to be just a really hard time to have to put things on hold. And
yes, it's tough.
Yeah, I'm glad shows are back too. That's what I've missed during that time, but hearing new music in between is what helped me get through. So
yes, and then we also had like virtual shows. So the way we're talking right now on Zoom, we had a show called Club Calabash that we would do every Friday, and it was via Zoom. So the audience will be in their houses everywhere, tuned in, and we'll play our instruments and just play. So that was the best we could do for the COVID situation. Virtual concerts every single Friday to keep people entertained. So this is the first time that the Club Calabash folks, the guys who play at the show, we're all going to meet in person for the first time in over a year to play on Saturday, which is just so cool because it's different when you have the full band playing the drums, the guitar, the bass, as opposed to when it's just you and a track and maybe just one instrument. It's not the same, so yeah, I'm very happy for this.
Very fun. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And yes, the show coming up July 16th, 50th in France.
Yeah.
You'll be performing. It's an outdoor show. Love it.
Yes.
You'll be performing with we were joking about this before. With Rion.
Rion.
I keep saying it. Like if I keep saying it, at some point it'll sound right.
Yeah, exactly. Rion. I'm sure he's gonna laugh when he sees this video. He's gonna laugh and laugh and laugh. Yeah. So yes, Rion is gonna be there. He's gonna play his set, and I'll play my set. My set is gonna be just acoustic, so it's gonna be me, my guitar, and my keyboard player. So just something simple. Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah,
that'll be nice. Yes. And you and Rion. I don't know why. Now I feel like it's.
I feel like if you think about it too much, that's when you would want to pronounce it wrong. Oh my God, this is so funny. Rion, let's just forget about the spelling and just pronounce it as we know it. That's the best way to do it.
Great. Yeah. I'm so glad we had that moment earlier. Like,
oh my gosh, yes. Try to get it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's still there, I know.
It's still there. I'm still almost laughing. Okay, goodness. So earlier this year, you with a bunch of other local artists, released a collaboration with Rion called Enough.
Yes, we
I didn't
did.
mean to say it sounds so aggressive, but I really like the song.
I do too.
Enough. And how did that, y'all had recorded that in 2020 as well,
2020,
right?
yes. Towards the end of the year. I think it was sometime in either October or November, because it was snowing at the time that I went to record my part.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you watch the video, you can see that I was walking in the snow and everything. Yes. Yeah. So that was definitely October, November-ish. I can't remember exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a great track to be a part of. Very important.
Yeah.
Just with everything that's happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the
Yeah.
past year plus.
Mhm.
Wow. Is there a chance that you two will be singing that song together? Will you be doing anything?
We have a song that he's working on that he had me do a verse in it. I don't know when it's going to be released. I'm sure he hasn't really, talked about it. So maybe when he decides to spill the beans, but for now it's like a collaboration. I don't know if it's going to be on his album or just a single. I'm not sure, but we had to do a recording, virtual recording like this via Zoom, where I had my, mini studio, my recording microphone and everything here. And he was, over there on Zoom listening in and letting me know, okay, this is the part that I need you to sing on. This is what I need here, blah, blah, blah. And all that. So it was a virtual studio session and it was great. So yes, we have something coming up. I don't know when, but hopefully soon. Yeah.
Okay. Just a little
Yeah.
tease there. I like
Yes.
it. Okay. Nice. That'll be coming soon too.
Yes.
Wow. Well, so much fun, so much happening. And I just want to say last summer I saw your virtual performance with Ice House with Ashley DeBose and it was at Ice House, so there were people that were there, but I bought a virtual stream ticket.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. It was one of my favorite things because I go to a lot of shows. I typically do. So it's fun to be a part of it and be safe.
While being at home, exactly.
Yes. I was probably in my jammies at that point and just dancing at my living room, but a really fun performance and show.
Very nice. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, well, anything else that's happening in your world?
Oh,
It sounds like a lot, but you already have.
Yes, for a long time there was nothing happening. So now that things are happening, I'm like, bring it on. Just keep bringing it on. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm ready to just jump in. So yes, outside of the shows that are happening, I have a few more singles that I intend to release before I release a full, maybe not a full body of work, but an EP. About 6 or 7 songs will be on the EP. Some songs that you've heard will be there, and then there'll be other songs that you've not heard before. So I'm hoping to release that sometime toward the end of the year, so the last quarter of 2021. If anything changes, it might be right when we get into 2022, God willing, so that's the plan, eventually to have more videos out and then release a body of work that I can, just show that, hey, look, I've got this done. And it's going to be the first one that I will do. So I'm excited for that. One of the songs is going to be a reggae song because I've been, all these collaborations that I've done with Rion and all the guys, the same guys that were on the Enough song, the video, most of them are the same guys that we play Club Calabash with. So Club Calabash is a Caribbean island flavor, reggae, African music, world music kind of vibe. And so majority of the guys on there are either from Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago. I represent West Africa. There's another guy who represents East Africa. And then Rion represents Minnesota, so that's a community. It's such a good blend. Like we have fun every time we do it. And so we, all of those guys, one of them is a music producer and he will be producing one of the reggae songs that will be on my EP. So I'm excited for that one. Definitely more videos to come, hopefully 1 or 2 this year before the release of the EP. So that's the plan.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm so excited. All this brand new music makes me happy.
Thank you.
I'm glad nothing is slowing down.
I know. I'm thankful. Yeah. It's about time. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll have to look for all those tracks and the shows.
Yeah.
So excited. Carolyne Naomi, thank you so much for joining me. It was
Thank
a pleasure
you.
to get to know you.
Thank you. Pleasure getting to know you and see you. I feel like I've met you before, even though I haven't. So that's just, it's your vibe and it's so beautiful. And I love it so much. So thank you.
I know. I feel like we've known each other a long time.
Yeah, it feels that way. We just keep laughing at every single thing.